Hello, everybody. My name is Oscar T. Lewis, and this is my wife.
LaShonda Lewis.
And welcome to another episode of Reaching for Your Marriage. Now, during this podcast, we're going to be talking about all things relationships.
Dating, marriage, and the ups and downs in between. So stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Reaching for Your Marriage. And today, we got some spectacular people that we're going to share with you.
Okay, so one happens to be a little bit close to me. She has all of the things, but she's AKA Bestie, and her husband is affectionately known as Honey. But I'm going to actually introduce them as the Moffats, Elizabeth and Stephen Moffat. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Woo!
All right, so one of the first things that I'm going to simply ask you guys is, how long have you guys been married?
40 years.
40 years.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
The reason that we ask that is because a lot of times it's normally like the ladies or the wives that answer that question. Because a lot of times some of the men, they'd be like, man, I'm not for sure. I'm going to let her answer first. But anyway, see, I commend you, Stephen. So there we go.
You're already getting points. Good job.
Okay.
So
Keep
40
track of 'em, too.
years. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have a story to tell.
We have a lot of stories to tell.
So where should we jump in? Tell us how you met.
We met at work.
Yes.
We met at
Okay.
work years and years ago, 41 years ago to be exact.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay.
It's okay.
Look,
You tell this story.
So I guess being the shallow person that I am, it was the looks. So when I first saw her, it's like, okay, that was the look. And so everybody I would run into when she was walking by, it's like, hey, look. And so it just progressed from there.
Now that's called real talk because guys, first by the eyes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you realize she had personality later.
Yes.
Hey, that's real though. That's real. I mean, you're gonna catch the attention by how she looks first.
Right. So
hey.
how did he catch your attention?
I don't know, just being attentive to the little things. There were other people that did what he did, but they didn't do it the way that he did it, especially for me. And that is what got my attention.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, were either of you previously married?
I was
You were previously married.
Yes.
So,
previously.
stark difference, right?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what lessons do you feel like you learned when you were like, okay, if I'm walking into a new relationship, this is what I need to do differently?
I just wanted out of the first one.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's real.
It was a challenge for me. I'd grown up with my parents being parents for my entire life, and I don't know. I'd never thought about how they stayed married for so long. But when I got married, I had expectations that hardly any of them got met, according to me.
Okay.
Not really sure how he felt, but I felt like it was not going well for me.
Okay.
So almost instantly wanted to escape and feel better about marriage. So that's when the lessons started. Yeah.
Wow. And so how was that for you knowing that she was coming into it? She's already been married before. How was that for you?
It was great. I mean, from the moment that we started talking, the connection was there. So it didn't, her being married before, her having children, that was not an issue. I mean,
Okay, so there were children involved.
yes.
Okay, so how was that shift? So now, look, here we go, the plot thickens. Okay, so you meet this girl at work. she's a looker.
She's a looker.
Okay. She's been previously married and she has children. So now you're going to start a relationship and you're saying, okay, this is a person I want to be married to.
Yes.
So were there challenges with that coming in with both of those?
There wasn't a challenge. There wasn't a real challenge. The only thing was not having kids, myself, and then knowing that we weren't going to have kids together.
Okay.
I mean, that was out of the picture by then. And so I remember our oldest son, I think Liz was either working late or something, and I was at the house with the two boys, and I told the oldest son to do something, and he was rebellious for some reason, hadn't been at all before, and he said, I don't have to do what you tell me to do. You're not my father. And so that stunned me. So I just, sat there thinking about it, and didn't want to push the issue. And when Liz did get home, I told her about it. So she, took care of business with him. And then she came at me. It's like, you're a grown man. You don't let somebody talk to you like that, So it's like, okay. So that gave me the authority and the wisdom that, okay, I have to raise these two sons, which I'd already planned on doing, but that just opened up the avenue for me to be the parent that I needed to be with them. And, it's been great ever since.
Hello, everybody. Once again, thank you very much for joining us with this podcast. And there's something else I want to talk to you guys about. We have this merch right here talking about reaching for your marriage. This is going to inspire some conversation that's talking about marriage, and we really want to bring marriage to the forefront.
Because let me tell you, when you wear that shirt reaching for your marriage, you're making a declaration to others. And once again, it's going to be all about some good conversation and dialogue. We would love it if you would join us on our Facebook page, Reaching for Your Marriage, as well as on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Now,
Back to the episode.
There you go.
You know something, and I really am glad that you're sharing this this testimony of the story, because there's quite a few what we call blended families, and sometimes that can be a challenge when you bring kids in. And what's really important is the fact of the parents have to establish that communication, be like, hey, these are my kids. Might not be biologically, but these are my kids. But sometimes the other parent might not feel comfortable, disciplining them or raising them or whatever if that communication is not established. But what Stephen and what Miss Liz, what they're talking about, it's a perfect, example about as far as how to establish that.
Being able, he said, the whole time he said, our children. So the very first thing is, how many people actually do that?
Yeah.
Even now in 2025, they always make a differentiation between these are my kids, but these are my bonus kids, or they always make this extra, which is okay. But there's something different when you say these are our children, because it's not only for the two of you, it's also for the child themselves, because now you're saying we are a family. But the thing is what I like about, because I know you are feisty. Like right now you're so quiet and demure, but we're going to get you in a second. But the fact that you lit him up and you were like, listen here, you're a grown man. So one of the things that you guys don't know about her is she's a boss, okay? When I say boss, when you think about that woman who's got it together, CEO of her own company, started it from the ground up, is doing amazing. She is a coach. She's got her doctorate. Whoop, whoop. All of the things. But the fact is you have always seen you pour into him. In front of him and a lot without him, you always are speaking positively about him. That you don't know. She talks very good about you. Very, very good about you. But one thing she always says is that you help her. You see her. You feel her. You get it most of the time.
Yes.
So how has that been for you now? Because you didn't have that before. Now you have somebody who is attentive, who is trying. Was it hard to trust?
Yes, absolutely. That, I don't know, the way we started out talking. about, how to raise the kids and, what that looked like for him and what that looked like for me. And so he was all in. So from a trust standpoint, of course, I only had my parents as an example and then my first marriage. And my first marriage, again, just wasn't what I expected it to be. So there was a lot of kinks that we had to work out. And so it did make a difference. And, we had to come together a lot in the beginning. Whereas, now after 40 years, we don't necessarily have to do as much to get us back to that. But we continue to work on it.
Yes.
I think that's important. We never gave up. And that's how we got to 40 years.
And
not
you said
giving
you
up on
keep doing
ourselves.
it. So that means you're not, it doesn't end.
No, never.
Is that a bad thing?
No,
Okay.
never.
Explain. It's not a bad thing. Why?
It's not a bad thing because, one of the things that he taught me years ago, there's sometimes I don't read between the lines very well, and I'm okay with that as long as you know that about me. And so he explained it to where I understood it, to where if you take time off of your marriage, it's almost like taking a vacation from work. When you come back, you have to work extra hard to catch up with the things that nobody took care of while you were out.
Wow. That's a mouthful.
I understood that completely. And so because he took the time to help me understand, then to me, you always have to put the work in. Okay? Feeling bad, not feeling bad, it doesn't matter. You still have to put the work in. So that's what we've done.
I really love that phrase. How she was talking about, you take a vacation from that.
That's that doctorate coming out.
I know,
That's
right?
that doctorate coming out, y'all.
You got to put it in. So in other words, don't take any breaks.
Yeah.
Stay in it, keep doing it.
Yes.
And what's your viewpoint on that?
I was saying, as long as we can communicate. So whenever we had issues, or it all came from the lack of communication. So it's going back to taking the vacation. That's stop communicating. Letting other things take priority. It's hard to get back, and so as long as you just constantly checking in, doing those small things, it's easier. Even if you take a small break, it's easier to get back to where you were. But if you go too long, it's a tough road to get back.
Man, you're absolutely right. Right about that. And communication is something that we talk about in the book, right?
Yes. Reach for your marriage is
Yeah.
something we
Yeah.
talk about how important it is for communication. And here's what's great. If you go to this book, in the forward, they actually are in the book. They actually have a little something in there, and they share about how important it is. Yay! So I love the fact that you guys aren't just talk about it. You actually, we see it.
They're about it.
Because one thing I'm gonna tell you about Stephen is he gonna make sure you check in with his wife. You ain't gonna catch him slipping. You're never gonna be able to get him to say, "Yes, I'm gonna be there. Yes, I'm gonna do this." He'll say, "I'll get back to you on that. Let me check in with my wife. Let me check in with Liz real quick." I love this. Always a check in. And here's what's cute. You'll say, "Yes, wait. I probably should talk to Steve." I love the fact that you guys are still checking in with each other. Now, in my other book, Triumph Through Transition.
I love that book.
Oh, really?
I do.
So you
I
got a
loved
chance to
it.
read a little
I
bit
read
of
the
it?
entire book.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
Thanks. So in the book, Triumph Through Transitions, we're talking about transitions, and you guys have been through a few.
Yeah.
Right.
So you are, as we say, a boss,
Yeah.
and have been for a while. But I'm sure that there was some challenges along the way of being an entrepreneur. And then you worked where? Where did you work before you retired?
U.S. Postal Service.
How long did you work there?
36 years.
Wow.
And now you're retired now, right?
Yes.
So there is a shift. How was that transition? You're at home as an entrepreneur doing your thing, and now you're at home and you're not used to being at home.
No.
And so now you're retired. Talk to us a little bit about that transition from both of your perspectives.
I think it's it's an ongoing transition. Even though I retired at the end of 2020, every day it's something different. So either, someone asked me this past week, what do you do all day? And it's almost like, how did I have time to work when there's so much that I could do all day? Or sometimes so much that I do all day. And so it's always something constant going on, And it took us a while to get used to me being at home all the time. And she's probably still getting used to it. Our dog is still getting used to it. It's like he follows me around, like I'm his twin almost. And but it's been worth it. I put my years in. It worked. It paid off for me, and now I'm able to be retired, and I'm enjoying it. I get to spend more time with my beautiful wife.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
How was that transition for you on the other end?
Oh my gosh, there's days I want him to leave. Yes. It's like, go find something to do. Don't you have any hobbies? So, yeah, it's, having a dedicated office and a dedicated space for me to do my work helps a lot. He only interrupts me if he really needs something, or he'll text me. And, sometimes I'll text him because he and Caesar are somewhere else in another room. And so we just...
Caesar's a dog, by the way.
Yeah. A little bitty cute thing. And, yeah, he has adjusted since Stephen has been home. But I think having that dedicated space and having an additional conversation about, things that he should interrupt me for and things that he probably should wait, then that has been helpful as well. And he does a lot of the errands. He does a lot of the cooking. Well, okay, he does all the cooking. He does all the cooking. And that's a benefit for me. It's not that I don't cook. It's,
Oh, you don't have to explain it.
Thank you, honey.
Good.
I
Yes.
really appreciate
I
it.
love that.
I know that's right.
See?
You better.
Oh, my God.
You don't have to explain that. I like it.
40 years.
This is 40 years. I was about to say that. I
Yes.
said, this is 40 years. And a common theme that you guys, y'all keep hearing about,
Yeah.
communication. They talk. They communicate. They get an
Yeah.
understanding. They're establishing the expectations.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. that's
Also,
the way
what
it
you
is.
always, the support. You guys support each other. Because one thing, they say hype your bestie up. Y'all go hype each
Yes.
other up.
Yes,
It is
yes.
a constant thing. Y'all have a very, he's your calming place.
Yeah.
When things are frantic and frizzy, you can see how. Has it always been that way? Has he
Yes.
always been the calm in your storm?
Yes, he's my steady. Nothing seems real unless I call, if I'm away from him. If I call him and I tell him about it, I feel that he is going to calm me down. Like, for example, my mom and my dad, there was a tornado. And the tornado, it didn't hit the house, but it shook it. And my mom called me and she was telling me about it. And I'm thinking my mom, got hit by a tornado. It was that extreme in my head. And so I called him. And so he just asked the right questions to where I heard myself answering and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Okay.
So no matter how difficult it is for me to process, he's my steady. And he'll always be that for me. I don't think anyone else has ever been able to do that for me. And hopefully I'll do that for you too, but you don't have to answer right now.
Thank you.
But yeah, that is what I see him as, and he's always been that.
Hello, everybody. Once again, thank you for joining us on this podcast. Now, there's something I quickly want to talk to you guys about. It's also this other book that my wife wrote. And what is the name of the book, baby?
Triumph Through Transitions.
And what is the book about? Tell us
It is
about
about my personal journey about going through the transitions, because as we're reaching for our marriage, there's a lot of things that happen with me individually and then in the relationships. And there's going to be some of you that are going to resonate with that. Whether you're single, married, or going through, I think that you're going to be blessed by it.
So please make sure to go to Amazon and where you get a copy of this book. Trust me, it's going to be life-changing and it will be helpful and beneficial. And also, last but not least, be sure to click subscribe, to also go to our YouTube channel, Reaching for Your Marriage, and to also join our Facebook group, which is
Reaching for Your Marriage.
Reaching
our
for Your Marriage
Facebook
as well.
Group. Yes.
So once again, click that bell and back to the episode.
Awesome. What do you have to say?
I agree.
He's like, yes, I am her steady.
Yeah. I mean, one day I got off work early, and it's like I'm going to go do some other things. You know, I didn't even. It's like I'm not going to even call her and let her know I'm off work. I'm going to go take care of some things that I wanted to take care of. And she called me, and she was upset about something. And it's like, okay, I'll just come on home. I just got off work. I'll come home, and so I went home, and calm things down, and she was okay. And so that's another reason why it's great that I am retired, is that I can be there for her when, the day is a bad day, and like, as she says, we can talk about it. She gets calmed down. She goes back and she does what she needs to do. So, it's a good feeling knowing that I'm there for her as she needs me to be.
Yin and yang. So,
Yeah.
if he is the yin to your yang, how do you feel like with getting to know him? How does he receive love?
Oh, gosh, a lot different from me. He's touchy. Oh, God, he's touchy. And I'm like, get off, move, So, I'm probably very disappointed in that in that area, but I'm not the touchy-feely kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
But you got time to work on it.
Yeah, I do. Okay, 42 years, maybe. Okay. But yeah, I hope I answered that.
No, you
No,
did.
well
actually,
enough.
that's perfect.
I have seen you just like now. You reach over and you touch
Yeah,
his knee.
yeah.
But I've seen you do that. You're
Yeah.
not a touchy feely person. However, when he's close to you, you always make it's so like instinct now, 40 years worth. You always make sure that if he's close to you, you always touch him in some manner. Now, if
Yeah.
he gets excited and wants to, you're like, hey.
Yeah.
Like now, if he did too much about your hand on his leg, you might be like, all right. But I love the fact that I've watched you over the years. You always make that connection.
Yeah.
So what would you
Yeah.
say? How do you pour into her? How does she receive love?
It's not difficult. I mean, it's kind of hard to put in words, but a lot of it's just communicating. Just actually saying the words. And when she hears them, she takes it in, and she blossoms. She flowers just from hearing "I love you." And she likes gifts. So
Yes.
say "I love you" and give her a gift, and she's fine.
That's pretty interesting, them talking about, the different aspects of their love languages. Like I said, physical touch, that's obviously, that's yours.
Yes.
You're not somebody, it's the same thing between my wife and I. Like, I like to touch. I like to be touched,
Yes.
right? But
In the right way
in the right way.
Yes.
Right. In the right way. And her, not so much. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting, you guys talking about that dynamic. So, 40 years. So what are some of the, I don't want to say secrets, but what are some of the most effective ways that you can gather as far as this longevity? And I realize that marriage is a living document, that you always have to keep working on it. But what's the strongest tools in your arsenal as far as being together and keep growing together?
I'd have to go back to saying not giving up. I gave up on myself too many times, and I made it a point not to this time.
That's
And there were times that I could have given up on him, but I chose not to. I would have to say that's the biggest part of staying together, being together, and adjusting. There's a lot of adjustment in 40 years. And something like your book says, sometimes you don't really know what adjustment you're going through, and you call them transitions. Sometimes you don't even know that you're going through one, but until you're through it. And so those adjustments make a big difference. And I would say those are the things that I can, very well say that that's something that you have to buy into. You can't just say that that's what you're going to do and then not do it. So
That's intention. What
And
about
mine
you?
is 2 Corinthians. Love is what love is. And so there's some days, or had been some days, it's like you want to be petty. It's like, I'm not calling her today, when I'm at work, or I'm not doing this, I'm things that I would say that I wouldn't do because I wanted her to know that I was bothered by something. And if I said that in the morning, by 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm already calling, because, we love each other and we communicate all the time. And so I get over whatever that little thing was, and we talk about it, and we move on. And so that's what's really helped us so many times, is just talking about those little things that annoy you or whatever that you need to work through, versus just letting them sit there and fester. And, a lot of what people see, they see people, they see marriage, they see somebody that's happy all the time, and one of my relatives, he was just gotten married, and him and his wife was going through something, and, he pointed out to me and my brothers, I got 5 brothers, and pointed out to us and our wives and how we got along in our marriages, and just thought that that's the way it was. We're the Huxtables, or, whoever you want to envision as being with a happy marriage. And, we were sitting down and we were talking to them. It's like, you only see what people let you see.
That part.
So don't model your marriage after anybody else's marriage, because you don't know what they went through to get to where they are, or what they're still going through. You'd be surprised how many people you see that look happy, and then they get in the car and they argue all the way home, or they don't talk all the way home. You have to put that work in. And after having that conversation with he and his wife, they started working, and, I think they've been married like 14 years now. They're doing great.
Look at that. So I know you guys can't believe this, but we're at the end of our podcast.
Oh my God! Seriously?
The time has gone by. Here's the thing. You guys are proving that you have to reach for your marriage, and you have to keep reaching
for your marriage.
You guys are living proof. Y'all are so beautiful together. You inspire so many people, and it is an honor that you guys came on our little show. We have merch, guys. We have merch that we have some reaching for your marriage sweatshirts.
Oh my gosh!
So you guys, if you want to be a Twinkie with your
reaching for your
husband,
marriage.
with your
There you
wife,
go.
reaching for your marriage. Here goes a nice sweatshirt right here. We would love it if you would rock it, but it also is going to have great conversation, even when you're introverts like the two of you guys are. It's a great thing. Okay, so we've got to end the podcast. We're going to have you guys back to have some other conversation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We
would
got to
love
make
to.
sure as we end every podcast, you ready? Make sure that
I'm getting
you
it right this time. Raise expectation and create hope. You got to keep reaching. You got to reach.
Keep reaching. Bye, guys.
All right, later. Bye.